Since I was 8 years old, I have been passionate about two things. One of them is public speaking, and the other one is researching and understanding people. Generational theory, it's based around events and conditions you experience during your formative years. So what's happening in the world, the big tragedies that might be happening, pop culture, all of these elements shape who you are, and they create distinct generational behaviors and traits that you carry with you for the rest of your lives. There are so many generational clash points that we're seeing right now in the workforce. So for example, it could be hyper-independent Xers with collaborative millennials. It could be about motivating across different generations, understanding how work-life balance plays out between different generations. You can imagine that this generation that became so incredibly skeptical, and we were actually doing a focus group at Bridgeworks, and there was an Xer in the room who said, "You name the institution, and I can name the crime." Right? And then we did more research around this, and we worked with a group out in New York called Third Millennium, and they found that Xers believe they are more likely to see a UFO in their lifetime than a Social Security check. Right? I talk to boomers, and they say, I don't get Xers. They're so cynical. They never want to follow the mission, and they just poke holes with everything. And of course, millennials, you poke a lot of holes in our lives, and we're like, why do you keep questioning me? We get really defensive. But when you talk to Xers, they say, I question, I poke holes, I push back because I care. And so something every generation can do when we're working with Xers is know they are going to be skeptical, anticipate their skepticism. I want to be very clear that our message is not, here come millennials, change everything you're doing for them. That is counterproductive. We do not support that mindset at all, because every generation's voice matters. Research is a necessity for every generational expert at Bridgeworks because all of us are generational experts first and then speakers or consultants second. And what that means is every single day we are devouring content about the generation's topic. We do focus groups, we launch our own national surveys, we have done interviews with managers and employees for over 15 years. We are in the trenches on what is going on within workplaces and within the marketplace. So it doesn't really matter if it's about leadership or marketing or consulting or e-learning or specific things to your industry. We just want to help people bridge those gaps. Of course, every presentation and every workshop that we deliver at Bridgeworks, it's fun, it's engaging, everyone is having a good time and laughing and relating to every single story that we're telling. But beyond all of that, it's also actionable. People are walking out the door with things that they can do differently next day to either impact their bottom line, to know how to manage their employees better, to know how to manage their manager better. No matter what it is, they're walking out with something that they can do differently. What motivates millennial decisions? Why is it that what motivates me doesn't motivate them? And that's actually a very common question if you think about a work environment, for example. Xers and boomers, when you were 18 and you left home, what did mom and dad say? Bye, right? Love ya, go away, don't come home. Millennials, when we were 18, what did our parents say? And we left home. Come back, right? Like, come back, you're always welcome here, you're a unique snowflake, you're gonna change the world. And so we grew up with these parents who are saying, if you're going to work as long and as hard as I have, you better do something that matters to you. Follow your passion. And so we bring that mentality with us into every walk of life. We're thinking, how do our decisions impact a community? How can I feel like I'm making a difference for the people around me, for this country, for this world? What can I do? We have been doing research now for over 5 years on the generation after millennials, and the truth is that they are entirely different than my own generation. And that is both incredibly exciting and also a little terrifying to me as a millennial. But the trends that we're seeing, they're gonna completely shake up the workforce in a different way than we've seen before. And it's up to companies and organizations to be ahead of those trends to figure out how can they prepare for the generation that's coming next. This generation, we call them Generation Edge. This is the last generation of Caucasian majority. They're seeing a lot of changes right now. There are many trends we're seeing with this group. A good example, a participation award is not a real award. It's everyone's favorite, I think, especially when I'm with Xers, because Xers are like, yes, thank you. Because Gen Xers are an honest generation and they are raising their kids with the art of failure. It's like, if you are bad at something, that's okay. Let's make you be better. Let's find something else you can be good at. Let's not just throw trophies at you to make you feel good. The work we do is so cool because it touches so many people's lives, and that might sound a little cheesy, but when after a presentation, a bunch of people come up to you and they tell you with tears in their eyes, Now I finally understand my manager. Now I finally understand my kids. You can't help but feel that you've made a serious difference in people's lives, and it's one of the most rewarding things about working at Bridgeworks. Closing the chapter on all of the generations and talking about these demographic shifts. Whenever we talk about generations, it's never about right and wrong, and it's never about better or worse. It's about celebrating and understanding the unique perspectives that every generation has and the power of what can be accomplished when we bring all of those perspectives together.